As teenagers, my friends and I joked about the idea of going tashes, At the time, I didn't really know much about Movember, and I thought it was just having a bit of fun, to be honest. It wasn't until like several years ago-ish, during my first year at uni, that, I first decided to sort of brave the shave and shave my moustache. I didn't know much about Movember's mission, but after some research, I looked into it a bit and I discovered like the actual profound impact that Movember had, and their cause. Like just a few days after I decided to shave clean, I committed to running 100 kilometers that month, and I did it all to raise funds. Before then I've literally done no running at all, so 100 kilometers was like quite tough. It really tested me, and although I hated it, I found out I'd caught the running bug after that because I actually really enjoyed it. And every year since then, I've constantly kept growing my moustache to show solidarity with like men's mental health. I think it just shows how important it is. When I reflect on why I participate in Movember, you know, I think of the young boy I used to be like as a child. Growing up, I used to struggle so much with confidence, anxiety as well, and depressive episodes and loneliness. I was terrified to talk about mental state, and I just thought that opening up took so much stressful deliberation. I just really struggled doing it. Even now, I still battle on mental health, occasionally dealing with panic attacks and feelings of loneliness, but I know firsthand how alienating it can be to struggle mentally, and also how difficult it can be to reach out to those around you for support and guidance as well. My turning point did come though when I started going to the gym for the first time. As I started going, I actually gained confidence in my appearance, and that spilled over into my personality as well. It just really helped me manage my anxiety, and it also made me become more self-assured, and it just helped so much. My advice would be to anyone, struggling or having a hard time, is that nothing changes if nothing changes. Throughout school, I felt trapped by my mental struggles, but, trying something new like working out or journaling, it really helped me find a way to cope, like improve and ultimately change the trajectory of my life. I want you to know that everyone is capable of taking charge in their own journey, and it's not easy, but small steps lead to significant improvements over time. Just know you're not alone in this, and there's always hope for a better tomorrow.
Movember initially started as a fun thing for me at work with my colleagues, but underneath the fun of it, all their mental health issues and messages really resonated with me. As someone who actually had a couple of bad periods of mental health in the past. The first instance when I hit a low point personally was in 2017. I lost my job, I broke up with my girlfriend, everything just really started to weigh down on me, I had no one to talk to. But however, luckily, my two flatmates actually noticed a change in my behaviour. One day they literally had to drag me out of my room to see a therapist. I spent weeks pushing back, but one day I finally took that leap, and I've never been the same since. I've always gone to therapy. It's always helped me through a couple of rough patches in my life. However, another rough patch actually did start when COVID happened. I couldn't see anyone. I couldn't see my therapist. It really got hard for me. Although, in the grand scheme of things, I made it through it, I have to admit there was a time when I was dancing with the devil and I was on the edge of really ending it all, I guess you could say. However, luckily, I saw a message from one of my mates and he said, "Can I come over? Do you want to hang out or something?" There was a football game on, I think. And then my mates came over and around when I planned to do it. And that really, helped stop me doing it. I just broke down as soon as I saw them, and just like, it all just came back to me, what I'd be missing, who would be missing me more importantly. The next day I went to speak to my GP and just really sorted it all out, discussed all my feelings with him. And yeah, I can say I'm on a much better track these days than I was back then. At the end of the day, it's really just always knowing that whether it's friends, family or a therapist, there is always someone that you can talk to and share this so-called burden that you're feeling. Despite what you think, people are always understanding and they know what it's like. They've been there whether you know it or not, and they know what's best for you as a person. you're not alone and there's always someone to talk to, so if you're struggling, reach out. To me, that's the meaning of Movember.
The reason I started Movember is because my motivation really is to change the face of men's health. My father had prostate cancer and he fortunately managed to survive because it was diagnosed early. And that's the thing, isn't it? Early diagnosis was the crucial part of his survival. Thousands of men die each year from this disease, and therefore we need to raise awareness. Over the last couple of years I've dealt with a lot of grief. I'm sad to say, but I did unfortunately lose my father in March 2022 cancer, and it sucks. He was my mate, my hero, but above all, he was my dad. I lost my mum-in-law and a couple of good friends to cancer, including Paul, who lost his battle to cancer last year. So I dedicate every year's effort to those that are sadly no longer with us and those who are still in the battle. And then there's mental health. Far too many people suffer in silence, because they're either too proud or embarrassed to talk. Far too many men take their own lives through depression, anxiety, PTSD, everything. When all they need is someone to reach out to, or someone to reach out to them. Again, I'm determined to work hard to raise money and awareness for men's health issues. It's funny, the older you get, the more this shit hits home. Last Movember, I chose to shave down, as well as style myself as a pineapple. I chose this because the more ridiculous I look, the more people are inclined to spark a conversation when they see me. It's a great icebreaker to get people to talk about men's health issues. And just remember, if you need to talk, check in with a mate. The kettle will be on. And if you think something's up, don't wait. Check with your doctor. Catching cancer early can save your life.